How are you positioning the magic that you bring into this world as value versus as an offer versus as a program? Oh my gosh. My podcast producer is going to kill me for doing a podcast episode like this because I'm about to jump in the shower. I just got back from horseback riding, so if you are tuning into the video content, I'm literally naked under this robe, just so you know. However, when the magic strikes, I have to share it. And I just got back, like I said, from horseback riding, and I walk in the door, and my daughter just taught me one of the juiciest sales lessons. Period. End of story. Mic drop for a 9-year-old. Like, I should give her her entire salary right now because she's just freaking amazing and she's brilliant, and she may or may not be, well, she's totally aware she's brilliant. However, she may or may not be aware at this level. So she stayed home and I went horseback riding. And I did not think to take her with me to go horseback riding because she is allergic to horses. And I walk in the door and I am covered in horsehair. I'm covered in dirt. This is why I really need to go take a shower, guys. But I really wanted to share this with my Yes and community. And I'm also going to share about this in Money Magic May because I just want to go deeper into this. Is I'm covered in the very thing that she's allergic to. And she walks up to me and she says, "How was horseback riding?" And I said, "It was great." And then she goes, "Why didn't you take me, Mom?" And I said, "Because you're literally allergic to horses. Like, you have a medical aversion to horses." And she goes, "Yeah, but it doesn't mean I don't love them." And I wanted to go horseback riding. And I was like, "V, you are allergic to horses." And she says this, lean in, okay? Ready? Turn the volume up just like 2% more, or do an entire twist on the knob if you are old like me and we had knobs. She says, "Yes, but it's worth it because I love horseback riding." What? You're telling me that you medically have a aversion to horses, and yet you want something so bad you are willing to sacrifice in order to have it because you value it that much. You know, that's what most people don't get about being an entrepreneur, and most people don't get about investing in a program like DEFY or investing in a coach, is they see the aversion. They see the reasons not to. We have somebody in DEFY who lives in Japan and gets up and stays up until 1 a.m. in order to be there live for our calls because the calls mean more to her than her sleep. And what my daughter is saying is that horseback riding, she loves horseback riding so much, she wants to do it so much that she's willing to suffer through whatever the consequences are of her allergy. It's not like anaphylactic shock, but she's willing to have a stuffed nose. She's willing to have eye irritation. She's willing to be uncomfortable momentarily to have the thing that she wants. It's freaking genius. And then this is the part that makes me want to cry, is she goes and just gives me a hug. And I said, "Baby, let me go take a shower because you're allergic. I'm covered in horsehair," right? Like, I didn't tell her again that she's allergic, but I was like, "Honey, I'm covered in horsehair. Let me go take a shower." And she says, "Mom, some things are worth it." And I'm like, again, I'm the thing that she values more than a sniffly nose. She's willing to have that sniffly nose. Now, like, my preference would be that she didn't do that because I know that I'm going to be up with her tonight and, she's going to be coughing and sneezing. And man, if you are a mom, you know that there is no like more helpless feeling than your kiddo just not feeling good. But she taught me in that moment that there's like what she values, what means the most to her, that how much I mean to her. And I speak to so many entrepreneurs that they say making $1 million is important to them. They say time freedom is important to them. They say that location freedom is important to them. They say that their family is important to them and that they want to build their business to leave a legacy, intergenerational wealth to their family. They want to be able to have control over their own schedule, right? And yet, it's like you want to make $1 million. And when it comes time to invest $10, $15, $20,000 in your business, that's too much. It's too much because it is uncomfortable. And if you're not willing to get uncomfortable, the entrepreneurial journey is not for you. If you're not willing to make decisions based on your vision and your future self, because it's not going to make sense right now. It won't make sense right now. $15,000 on a credit card or taking a loan or having that in your savings feels safer right now than it does investing into yourself. I know that. I understand that. I also understand that the average small business takes $250,000 to start. If I wanted to go buy a Dunkin' Donuts franchise right now, it's $250,000 thereabouts, right? To get started, get it off the ground, open it, construction, all that kind of stuff. An average of $250,000. And you're telling me that $15,000 is too much. And I'll tell you why. When you're making an investment in a business or when you're making an investment period, I've invested in a fair amount of companies right now. Not all of them have taken off. And I'm looking at two things. The two things that you look at are the demand for the industry and the potential for growth. And then the second thing that you're looking at is the leadership of the business, AKA the founder. And so basically what you're saying is I'm going to invest $15,000 or I'm going to invest $10,000 or I'm going to invest $50,000 and I'm not going to get an ROI because I don't think that the coaching industry or the industry that I am making my life's work is going anywhere. That's not true. No, you definitely think it's going somewhere. It's gone from $3 billion to $7 billion in the last 5 years? Yeah, in the last 5 years. So you know that there's room for growth in the coaching industry if you are a coach. And you can look at these numbers for your industry. So then what is it really? It's the value that you place on yourself and the value that you place on you being successful. Like, I know there are so many people who are going to stop and turn this podcast off right now because I am telling you something that you maybe don't want to look in the mirror and see. And I am not wagging my finger at you from some pedestal. This is from me. Like, to date, I have invested well over 7 figures in my personal and my professional development, not in my business, because I'm the ROI and it wasn't always that way. Like, I had to learn that. I just invested another 15K, 20K actually in a mastermind this week. And it's funny because I invested the money and I never thought if I'm not going to get an ROI. Because I will get an ROI. I always get an ROI on my investments. And the only way that I can actually guarantee that I get an ROI on my investments is investing in myself. If I go and I invest in Apple, if I go and I invest in Nvidia, maybe I'm going to get an ROI. Maybe. I hope so. But I can beat that ROI because I know what my profitability is. I know how many businesses that I've started and I know how many have been successful. They have not all been successful. But I know what I'm risking. And it feels like I have such a track record of betting on myself and getting an ROI that I am such a safe investment. And then all I have to do is look at the industry. And so it's like my daughter just reminded me that what you value is where you're going to put your time, your energy, and your money. You're not going to look at the risk if the value is high enough. The risk won't matter. And so when people tell you I don't have the money, it's because they don't see the value. It's really interesting. I'm going to give you one more example of this because I really want you to sit with this and then tag me on social media or put a comment below this video if you're watching it on YouTube. I want to know from the comments on this podcast, how this is landing. So my husband is a total nerd and he wanted to buy this video game and it was like $100. It was literally $100. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm at a point in my life where I spend more than that on my nails. When I go get a manicure and a pedicure, I probably spend more than that on a massage because I get 1.5 to 2-hour massages. I know I spend more than that. And yet he wanted to get this $100 video game and we were talking about it. And I was like, why are you going to spend $100 on a video game? Because I don't value it. I value $100 more than I value the video game. And I had to stop myself and say, it's not about the video game, Bunny. It's about your husband's happiness. Like my horseback riding, my horses cost more than $100. We're super, super blessed that we have the $100 for him to invest in this video game. He's investing in his happiness, not in the video game. I didn't see that though. I literally saw the video game. And what's funny is that it's like, he goes, you don't want to spend $100. It's not necessarily true, because this weekend we just went to, at Disneyland, there's this private exclusive club. And to join the club, I won't even tell you how much it is to invest to join the club. First off, there's like a waiting list that could be a decade long. But I will tell you that the annual dues are around $25,000 to $27,000 per year to be a part of this club. And I had a conversation with my husband when I decided that I wanted to join the wait list as a family, for our family to be in this club. And I had a conversation about joining the club and about making the investment. I didn't tell him how much it was necessarily, but he knows. Like, he knows. And he's like, if that's what you want to do, like, if that's what you want to do with your money is invest in a club, basically what would buy a car year over year, like, that's what you can do. I value that experience at Disneyland. I value the community. I value the vibe and the ROI. Like, there's a huge ROI for me in that no one else can see. And I don't have to justify it to anybody else because it's my investment. And I don't value a video game. So $100 versus, let's just say, $25,000 a year, I'm happy to invest the $25,000. The $100, I'm happy to invest it when I see the value that it's going to bring my husband, not for a video game. And so when you're having these conversations with your clients, it's not about investing $15,000 in a 12-month program. It's not about investing $15,000 in a 12-month mastermind. It's about investing $15,000 to build a 7-figure company. This is specifically for DEFY, to build a 7-figure company and be in a space where your whole entire nervous system, your life operating system, everything is being supported by a founder that has built multiple 7-figure companies without sacrificing time with her family. And it's like, that's not for everyone. That's for a very specific group of entrepreneurs that value that. If you want to go fast, if you want to work 100 hours a week, that's not going to be of value to you. If you want to burn yourself out, it's not going to be of value to you. If you're not, like, my people love being the unicorn. They are the unicorns in their industry because they value impact, they value travel, they value family, they value philanthropy. There we go. That was the word. And they also value themselves. They understand that the cost of hustle and burnout is too high at this point in their lives, and they know that there's another way. And they know that building that identity first business is, and bringing their magic into this world, that it's going to be a positive ROI every single time. And they value being able to be in a community of like-minded individuals that feel that way. And they value something more than money, which is the ROI that will make an abundant amount of money, but it'll also make abundant amount of impact. They're not there to sell, they're there to serve. And so my question for you that I want to leave you with on this podcast is, like, what do you value? How are you positioning the magic that you bring into this world as value versus as an offer versus as a program? What would be your version of going horseback riding, even though you're allergic to horses? Like, what's going to communicate that level of value for what the magic you bring into this world to your clients? And in your story, what is your story that's the equivalent of that? So now, definitely going to go take a shower. I can't wait for you to share with me your comments. I can't wait for you to share with me your thoughts on this episode. Wherever you listen to us, whether you were horseback riding, whether you're taking a shower, whether you're sitting in your office or you're on a train to somewhere delicious, I love and appreciate that you're listening to the Yes and podcast. You are the reason that I record each and every episode. I am speaking directly to you. I am here in full support of you, of building that yes and life and the yes and business and being able to make FU money while also living your version of the F yes life. So that's what we're here for on the Yes and podcast. Until the next episode, I am your host, Bunny Young, and I am sending you so much love and so much value. I'll see you on the next episode.